Hello, happy Friday. I can't believe that this is my third Friday recording a video and that we haven't been together for so long. But I hope that you guys had a great week. I know that it's super sunny in Michigan, so that I hope that you are using that as an opportunity to get outside and get fresh air. I just want to give a quick shout out to one of our family members. It is Brian Dunson's birthday today. So make sure you're sending him awesome energy and awesome love for his birthday. Go ahead and get comfy. I'm going to be reading Tales of Despereaux to you. We are on chapter 30, and this is called To the Dungeon. At the castle, for the first time in her young life, Mig had enough to eat. And eat she did. She quickly became plump, and then plumper still. She grew rounder and rounder and bigger, only her head stayed small. Reader, as the teller of this tale, it is my duty from time to time to utter some hard and rather disagreeable truths. In the spirit of honesty, then, I must inform you that Mig was the tiniest bit lazy. That is, she was a bit slow-witted. Because of these shortcomings, Louise was hard-pressed to find a job that Miggery So could effectively perform. In quick succession, Mig failed as a lady-in-waiting. She was caught trying on the gown of a visiting duchess. A seamstress, she sewed the cloak of the riding master to her own dress and ruined them both. As a chambermaid, she sent to clean a room, she stood, open-mouthed, and delight, and she would just admire the gold walls and floors and tapestries, and just over and over again would stare. Wow, ain't it pretty? Wow, ain't it something then? And she did no cleaning at all. And while Mig was trying and failing at these many domestic chores, other important things were happening in the castle. The rat in the dungeon below was pacing and muttering in the darkness, waiting to take his revenge on the princess. And upstairs in the castle, the princess had met a mouse. You guys remember who that mouse is? And the mouse had fallen in love with her. Will there be consequences? You bet. Just as Mig's inability to perform any job well had its consequences. For finally, as a last resort, Louise sent Mig to the kitchen, where Cook had a reputation for dealing with especially difficult servants. In Cook's kitchen, Mig dropped eggshells in the pound cake batter. She scrubbed the kitchen floor with cooking oil instead of the cleaning product. She sneezed directly on the king's pork chop moments before it was served to him. Of all the good-for-nothings I have encountered, shouted the cook, surely you are the worst, the most cauliflower-eared, good-for-nothingest. There's only one place left for you, after all these jobs, and that is the dungeon. They're sending Meg Riso to the dungeon, guys. Huh? Said Meg, cupping a hand around her ear. You are being sent to the dungeon. You are to take a jailer his noonday meal, and that will be your duty from now on. Okay, so it sounds like she's taking the prisoner a meal, and that's her duty. Reader, you know that the mice of the castle feared the dungeon. Must I tell you that humans feared it too? Certainly, it was never far from their thoughts. In the warm months, a foul odor rose out of its dark depths and permeated the whole of the castle. And in the still, cold nights of winter, terrible howls issued from the dark place, as if the castle itself were weeping and moaning. It's only the wind, the people of the castle assured each other, nothing but the wind. Many a serving girl had been sent to the dungeon bearing the jailer's meal, only to return white-faced and weeping, hands trembling, teeth chattering, insisting they would never go back. And worse, there were whispered stories of those servant girls who had been given the job of feeding the jailer, who had gone down the stairs and into the dungeon, who had never been seen or heard from again. Do you believe this will be Mig's fate? Oh, I hope not. What kind of a story would this be without Mig? Listen, you Listen, you cauliflower-eared fool, shouted the cook. This is what you do. You take the tray down of food to the dungeon, and you wait for the old man to eat the food. Then you bring the tray back up. Do you think you can manage that? I reckon so, said Mig. I take the old man the tray, and he eats what's on it, and then I bring the tray back up. Empty it would be then. I bring the empty tray back up from the deep downs. That's right, said Cook. Seems simple, don't it? But I'm sure you'll find a way to bungle it. Huh? Said Meg. Nothing, said Cook. Good luck to you. You'll be needing it. She watched as Mig descended the dungeon stairs. Descended means to go down. They were the very same stairs, reader, that the mouse Despereaux had been pushed down the day before. You guys, this is all taking place in one day. Unlike the mouse, however, Mig had a light on the tray with the food. There was a single flickering candle to show her the way. She turned on the stairs and looked back at the cook and smiled. That cauliflower-eared, good-for-nothing fool, said the cook, shaking her head. What's to become of someone who goes into the dungeon smiling, I ask you? Reader, for the answer to Cook's question, you must read on. Bum, bum, bum. So I will continue reading on Monday with chapter 31, A Song in the Dark. Starting Monday's video will be, start with Be the Sun, Not the Salt. We'll dive into Monday's work, so I hope that you have either finished your spring break work already or you do so by tomorrow so that you can have Sunday off before diving into Monday's work. Remember that spring break was the packet of morning work as well as 6 pages of math and reading for 30 minutes a day and practicing math facts. So that is all you had. You didn't have any math stories to do over spring break and you didn't have any ELA book to do. So Monday will be the same. We'll start with this baby. We'll dive in to the content, end with Tales of Despereaux for the week, and then I'll update you on what the following week will look like. So I hope, again, you're getting outside, get all that fresh air that you can. I care about you all so much, and I'm sending you all the biggest hug.